Today I am challenging a legend, maybe the greatest franchise player in the world, BigIrrelevant.
You know I've never lost, right?
Until now. Each of us has $100 million to build the best possible team starting from an empty roster. And with that money, we can get free agents, Rule 5 pickups, and waiver claims. After we build our teams, they are going to go head-to-head across a bunch of different categories to earn points. The categories range from most wins to lowest team ERA or most team home runs. There's also some individual awards like highest WAR and most strikeouts for a starter. And lastly, you can rack up points between awards and playoffs. The main thing you need to know right now is that each round of the playoffs that you get past is an extra point, and if one of these teams wins the World Series, that is 5 points. Without further ado, I present to you the world's first MLB The Show Rebuild Challenge.
So my strategy for this is going to be probably a little bit different. I'm not focused at all on any of those positional battles and whatsoever. I don't think that they matter just because they're kind of up in the air. I'm focused on wins. And to do that, we're going to go for great pitching, trying to get low ERA, trying to get low whip. I want to win games more than anything. I don't care about Ks per nine, so we're going to be focusing on guys that have high control, that have high hits per nine, especially against righties, that are going to have low whip ratings that will just allow me to make sure we don't give up runs. Strikeouts, whatever, we don't care. When it comes to the lineup, we are then going to focus on kind of a cheaper lineup. High on base percentage, high contact stats, maybe a base runner or two, I don't really care. Don't care about defense that much, but the focus is we're going to try to win games 3-2. I don't need home runs. I don't need to sell tickets. We just need to win games.
Before I tell you my strategy, go check out BigIrrelevant's channel because we have another collaboration over there, and it's 5 seasons with the Rockies and an interesting challenge. So I have created the Salt Lake Suns, and with my $100 million, I really want to focus on getting the most wins. Now, my thinking behind that is that'll give me a chance to make the playoffs, and that is a point right there. Maybe we can even win the division, although we are in the National League West, so I don't know about that. Since I need 26 guys, I have about $4 million to spend per player, so even though it would be nice to sign Scooble here, I don't want to spend $43 million on one guy, but I do have a couple of big-ticket free agents in mind here. The first one here is starting pitcher Freddie Peralta, and he's asking for $29 million, so if I get him, he is going to be the highest paid player on this team. And he had 217 strikeouts last season, so if, and that's a big if, I can land him here, that would give us a good shot at that Most Ks award. For my position players, I've also got a big target, and that is second baseman Brandon Lowe. With 93 power against righties, which are more common to face than lefties, I think there's a small chance he could lead the league in home runs. I need to prioritize these two guys right out of the gate. These are the big ticket items that I think are going to lead this team to success.
We're just going to put my big 3 targets to start off as Luis Arias is my offensive bat, Shane Bieber I think is my ace, and then Casey Mize is my number 2. I'm okay with having 2 really good pitchers here and then kind of cheaping out for the rest. I know I want Zach Eflin as one of my guys, and I think there's a couple mid 70 overalls I can go after.
Let me take the opportunity here to sign some guys that are not ranked in the top 150 so we can at least start filling out this team. The first one is absolutely incredible. The game generated Fritz Zuniga in the last draft class, and he did not make it to his team's roster. I know this guy is 66 overall with D potential at 18 years old here, but I want him to be my third baseman for $60,000 this year.
First player I'm going to grab is going to be Juan Yepez, who is not on the top 150, so I can just offer him a contract. $830K, my first money spent, Juan Yepez. The next one we're going to grab is going to be Michael Ciani, who is a defensive kind of oriented player. Could be a good bench player to have, $800K. Another cheap kind of contract to add up. Christian Koss got decent contact stats.
And now back to another big target, Ha-Sung Kim to play shortstop. He wants $12 million this year. And the reason that I'm willing to pay that is because I think he's going to be really good, but there's also a chance that he could win me the WAR award. And I think maybe 6 or even a little more is what I'm going to need to win that point. 3% motivation for Freddie Peralta and 9% for Brandon Lowe. I don't know what we're going to do here. Thankfully, Ha-Sung Kim looks decently interested. Because we are long shots here, I think I need to pivot my strategy right away and not go for Freddie Peralta and try to just get lucky with that strikeout target. I don't really want to give up on Brandon Lau just yet though, he's a big part of my plans. If I'm not going to go after Peralta, that leaves me some more money here to use on other guys, like maybe signing the best catcher on the board here, Ryan Jeffers. He wasn't initially part of my plans, but this is another position that could get me a lot of WAR, so let's see if we can sign him. Third try with Ha-Seong Kim, and there we go, we've got our shortstop. Let's check off some other guys here. There's really good options at first base that are cheap, both Ty France and Lamont Wade Jr. And although his defense is only okay, Wade Jr. can also play the outfield. I'm going to sign both of these guys. In week 6 here, I'm not even going to fill up my third spot because with one more week, Brandon Lau's motivation could go up 9% and get to 50, which means I could give him an offer. But before we get to see that, it's time for the Rule of 5 draft, which is going to be super important.
Because our strategy is going with a bunch of these really cheap minimum deal contracts, we are going to spend a lot of time in this Rule 5 draft trying to pick up guys that I think are cheap and valuable. Jose Barrios is not a good example of this because I think that he just doesn't provide a lot of value because he's an $18 million contract. But a guy like Alec Marsh is, Jake Irvin is, Bowden Francis is. There's also other positions. Ryan Clifford, who could win Rookie of the Year if we bring him in. This actually might have to be my first pick simply because I think he's the best player available here. And now in last round, nobody else picked. So I get to just kind of take my pick of the litter for the rest of this. So I'm just going to go through, probably grab a bunch of these guys to fill out my roster. Alec Marsh has good control. And I think the last guy I want to grab out of the Rule 5 draft is going to be Evan Phillips. Now, he's got the good hits per nine, the good Ks per nine, and decent control. My only fear is arbitration. I don't know what the Dodgers offered him in arbitration, but we are going to go after it anyways. And then we'll just see how much money we get to fill up afterwards.
If you haven't noticed yet, I have yet to sign any pitchers at all, and this is where I'm going to get a bunch of them. Weren't any good position player options, but I did grab 4 relief pitchers here along the way, and that's the start of our bullpen. Somehow, someway, B-Lau is still on the board. I'm gonna bump it up even higher to 19 million and change. This team revolves around him, and there we go. We have got our big power hitter.
And we get our first big free agent signing after finishing the Rule 5. Shane Bieber, $16.58 million. That's our ace. The rest of the team only cost me $6 million right now. So we're at $22 million with our ace. We bring in our first big reliever, bringing in Eric Lauer on $4.8 million per year. And we got our second big pitcher, Casey Mize. So we hit both of them big, which means we now have a rotation. And our next big money acquisition is going to be Alec Boehm. He's the only A potential player left on the board at this point. This is our best bat in our lineup, and I'm excited to have it. But that does put us over the 50 million mark, which I guess isn't too bad. I have no idea where Brody's going to be at this point by the time that I'm here, but I think I probably have a cheaper roster than him right now.
So halfway through free agency, I've spent just about $65 million to this point, and we've got most of our lineup together. But I have got a long way to go as far as our pitching staff. We need a lot of players. Eric Lauer is the main target here. He should be really good converting back to starting. And thankfully, Michael Soroka is still here, who's definitely another guy I'm targeting here. Let's get him on the board. And I've also identified a potential closer here, Jacob Webb. Good combination of hits per nine, control, and clutch. We're risking it with him not being able to strike a lot of guys out. But I think he's going to be pretty good. I'm liking the looks of Aaron Savali here for $13 million. He should be a solid starter, nothing special. All right, here's our closer, potentially Jacob Webb. There we go. And Soroka on the way, yes.
We did get my favorite bat here in Luis Arias, got him for $5 million. Now he doesn't have the defense that he does in real life, so I'm not going to be able to get, a gold glove caliber. That sounds ridiculous to say. So I might need to get one more big on-base guy to help set up Boehm. Boehm is probably my only shot at getting an MVP. So we're going to snag a utility infielder in Luis Renifo for $3.9 million. We got our starting catcher for $1.6. We snag Zach Eflin, $12.7 million. We get probably our closer, honestly, Carmen McKinsky at $1.35 million. So we actually did save a good amount of money. If there's a good waiver pickup that cost me $6 million or so, I have the ability to buy that player if I really want it.
And with that, BigIrrelevant has finished his roster, and I'm making my final decisions. Aaron Savali, decision time. There we go. I lowballed the absolute hell out of him. Let's get Nathan Lucas. He's only asking for $800,000 and he looks really good. I really want to sign utility man Richie Palacios here, but I've only got about $7 million left, and I don't know if I can afford Zach Littell in that case. Another option might be to sign a bunch more relief pitchers and then just try a bullpen game. That is what I'm going to do. Zach Littell is coming off the board, and we'll find some more relief pitchers. I can lowball Brian Baker and Ryan Barucki for less than what it cost me to get Zach Littell. Last piece of the bench, Richie Palacios, and there's Brian Baker, and our very last guy, Ryan Barucki. His $2.3 million deal puts my total salaries up to $99.27 million.
All my contracts at this time will add up to $94,350,000. If we add Ilmaro Vargas, that would end up going up to $94,890 or $94,890,000, which does give me $5 million to spend in free agency as an emergency, partially through the season, or if there's a waiver pickup partially through the season I want to do. That's going to be my 26-man roster. This is what the lineup is going to look like. Now, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of this lineup. I don't think we're going to be a playoff team, but hey, they could surprise me. But we're focused a lot on these platoon bats and getting a lot of positions here. And I'm also swinging for a few Rookie of the Year potential here with Bradfield and Clifford, guys that maybe could get it if they end up playing well this season. But a lot of this is going to rely on Luis Arias playing very well, Alec Bohm playing very well. Because really this team is built around its starting rotation. Bieber, Mize, Eflin, Marsh, Francis, with Jake Irvin in the bullpen, Brandon Waddell in the bullpen, Avila, Evan Phillips, Tristan Beck, Eric Lauer, Hans Kraus, and Maginski as my closer. Normally I would say I'm going to go for saves with somebody. That was actually a thought in my strategy, going for like a Bednar. But really my strategy was this: build a great starting rotation to have a very good chance of winning more games just by pitching well, and then have a really good on-base machine type of offense that I think would supplement it so that these guys at least have chances to score.
So just like that, we have a team introducing the Salt Lake Suns. We've got our lefties stacked up at the top here against righties between Lamont Wade in the leadoff spot with 95 discipline, Brandon Lau, our best player, in the 2. Nathan Lucas should be sneaky really good against righties. He's in the 3, and batting cleanup is Jake Fraley. After that, we've got our righties in here between Jeffers, Kim, France, and then Zuniga, who is going to be interesting, as well as Garrett Hampson in the 9. And then against lefties, Alex Call is coming off the bench to bat leadoff. I think he's going to be really good. And most everything else is the same here, with Richie Palacios coming in to play left field. Having to pivot from not being able to sign Freddie Peralta leaves me with Lauer, Savali, Soroka, and Yarbrough. And in the 5th spot here, I'm going with a bullpen game. Our opener is going to be Brian Baker. We saw Jacob Webb will come in to be the closer. I'm feeling good about him. And then you've got a bunch of guys in here that should at least be decent. We will see what they can do. I have no idea what BigIrrelevant cooked up, but I'm honestly pretty nervous getting into this season. I've got a feeling he's got some really good tricks up his sleeve, and I'm not sure that my team's going to be able to cut it. Before we start this season, comment below who you think is going to win. No cheating. And without further ado, let's get into this season. Opening day is Eric Lauer against Logan Webb, which we lose 4-3. A close game as our bullpen does a pretty good job, but we can't quite defeat Logan Webb. And we end up getting swept in the opening series with our offense only putting up 5 runs.
You know what? And we win game 1, getting 2 hits and an RBI from Luis Arias and a home run from Ryan Clifford. So good start. We win 4-3 over the Giants in our first game. First 2 weeks in the books, despite getting absolutely smacked by Seattle in 2 games, we're 7-7. We're only 2.5 games behind the Dodgers. You're telling me David Hamilton hit 2 home runs in a game and stole 2 bases? Let's go. It's early in the season, but 382 from Luis Arias and 398 from Alec Bohm. All right, that's what I needed. And despite having a terrible run differential, we are going to finish the first month of the season 20-12. With Alec Bohm getting the player of the month.
And coming towards the end of April here, it's not looking too great. We are currently 14-18. And meanwhile, the Dodgers surge well ahead in the division. The CPU only projects the Suns to get 67 wins. I'm sure as hell hoping we can do a lot better than that, as we just put up 22 runs here against the Rangers. The whole offense went crazy here, but especially Brandon Lau, who had 5 hits and his 18th home run of the season. And he is currently in first place by 5 over Aaron Judge. This might actually work.
It's our first real series against the Dodgers right now, and we're 32-15 and they're 34-12. This has been a phenomenal start. I could not have expected this at all. We're 2.5 games behind the Dodgers. Please don't let them sweep us. They're so much better than us. We lose. Okay, they do sweep us.
Here is a real test though. 3-game set against the Dodgers. Game 1 we lose, Game 2 we lose, and Game 3 we get swept.
Shout out Eric Lauer, who currently, I even joked, I said, I didn't get a big closer to get saves. Eric Lauer has a 0 ERA, 19 saves in 24 games.
And now on June 1st, we are 4 games under 500, 28-32. Brandon Lau is still well in front here for the home runs, so far so good there. Unfortunately, our offense as a whole is 24th in the league in runs scored. And Lau is really the only guy hitting a lot of home runs. Our next highest is 9 for Lamont Wade Jr. Good signs on the pitching staff though. We are 9th in ERA right now with a 3.94. Lauer's been good, but really Aaron Savali has been the best pitcher so far with a 2.79 ERA. And Brian Baker has been exceptional in the opening role with a 1.89 ERA. Lastly, closer Jacob Webb is 16-3 in save opportunities, which is pretty good.
So going into June, we're 37-21. We have a decent lead on the wildcard race right now, mainly because our team is hitting 284. We don't score runs. We don't have to. We just get everybody on base. So our next time facing the Dodgers, we are 7 games behind them at this point. Just 1 game. I just want 1 game off the Dodgers. That's all I needed to see. Okay, we lose the second one. Can we win the series? No, we cannot. But hey, we ended their win streak. I'll take it. We're 1-5 against them.
Just ahead of the break, though, we've got a 4-game series against the Dodgers again, and we're 3 games under 500. They're 67-18. Can we find a way to split this series? Game 1 is Savali on the mound, and we lose by a lot. Game 2, we win 2-1 with Yamamoto on the mound. Yarbrough and Snell for Game 3, we lose, and Game 4, we've got our opener Brian Baker, and we lose 7-0. And sadly at the break here, we haven't picked up much ground at all. We're 5 games under 500. I am a little bit worried here. I'm thinking that BigIrrelevant's team is probably doing quite a bit better. We only have 380 runs scored right now.
So at this point at the All-Star break, I'm 60-37. I think we're going to make the playoffs, honestly. Now, we aren't playing as well as we did in the beginning. We did just sweep, I think, the Giants, but that doesn't mean anything. They're terrible. I think the thing that's concerning to me is the Dodgers are this good, 2.72 ERA. I don't know if I'm going to be able to lead the league in anything if they're that good. I don't know, because I don't know if Brody's even going to make the playoffs for me to worry about it. But I have no doubt he's going to score more runs than this team has for me. This is awful. I also get Shane Bieber in the All-Star game because he's amazing. I knew that was going to happen. Got Eric Lauer in the All-Star game, who has 34 saves and 1 hold right now at this point of the season. And the one I had no clue was going to be this good, Alec Bohm. I'm so glad that I went in on Alec Bohm. I have no idea where Brody's going to be at this point.
The National League is not very good right now, and we are only a half a game out of the wild card. 5 games under 500. The Suns still have a chance to make the playoffs. The ERA is still in a decent spot at 4.1, but I really want to get that under 4. Clearly, Savali started to struggle a bit. On the flip side, Soroka's picked things up. He's got a 3.3 ERA. That's really good. Taking a look at our offense here, there's one guy who's just absolutely carrying us, and that's Brandon Lau. His OPS is 1.06. He's having a career year. And it goes without saying that Brandon Lau is most definitely an all-star. And somewhat to my surprise, Ryan Jeffers is also an all-star. He's not been quite as good as I had hoped, though. He has really good offensive stats, and a 670 OPS is just not going to cut it. And there's a few other guys that are playing okay between Fraley, Lucas, Wade, Call, even Zuniga here has a 718 OPS. There is one very disappointing player here, Ha-Sung Kim. This was a guy that I bet on to potentially get us that WAR award, and let me tell you, that is not going to happen. It is going to take one hell of a second half of the season, But maybe, just maybe, the Suns can surprise everybody.
I thought that we were like starting to plummet there. We started losing some games, but we've just won 7 straight. So coming out of the deadline, 8 straight, 9 straight. An 0-1 loss is our first to make it so we don't win 10 straight. We're 30 games above 500. I can't believe that. Well, the Dodgers won 100 games in my sim already. So that is ridiculous. They might win 116. They probably will. They could win like 120.
We're on a 5-game winning streak coming to the end of July here, facing Baltimore. That's 6 games in a row. Baltimore again, and that's our first loss in a while. But we can get to 500 with a win today on August 1st, and we can't get it done. 2 months left in the season to get hot. There's another series win. And now against the Giants here, we sweep them, and we're 2 games above 500 all of a sudden. And with that, we are currently in the last wildcard spot. The Cubs are right behind us though, it is close. The CPU projects 83 wins to get us into the wild card, and we're finishing out the month of August here, and our record is 70-68. But unfortunately, other teams have gotten hot, including the Cubs, and we're now out of a wild card spot.
I need to fill up the 28th slot of my roster for September. We have $5 million to spend. We spend $1.7 million on Kobe Allard. Well, the Dodgers won 116 games, but we clinched the playoffs. I have no doubt that I'm going to have a better win-loss than Brody.
There is only one thing left to do, sim to the end of the season and see how we do here. It's a mixed bag so far as the Cubs just swept us. And we're still 1 game out of the wild card. And checking back in on the home run race, Brandon Lau is going nuclear. 55 home runs puts him ahead of Shohei, Judge, Vladdy, and many other notable home run hitters. So at the very least, if BigIrrelevant is absolutely kicking my ass right now, I should be able to get this award. We need to turn things around right now here. 3-game series against the Braves, and we end up winning that one. Now we face the Cubs again. This series might decide everything for us. Game 1, we win. Game 2, we lose. Game 3, we have too many players on our roster. That means Fraley's back. He might just be the exact boost that we need here at the end of the season. Back to this series now. Game 3, we lose, and to split the series, we lose. But somehow we are now in a wildcard spot despite losing 3 in a row. And here we go, finishing out the year against the Dodgers. We lose game 1, we sneak a series win from them, including a 13-1 victory. Last series of the year against a struggling Padres team, we win game 1, win game 2, and we finish off with a series victory. We have made the postseason and are playing the Reds. It wasn't pretty. We actually had a negative run differential here by about 8 runs, but 83 wins is not bad.
That was 101 wins. We make the playoffs. We win 101 games while only scoring 686 runs to 679 runs allowed. Dude, that's a Pythagorean win of like 82 games.
83 wins is not bad. Safe to say I got absolutely smoked in the regular season standings, losing 101 wins to 83 wins. That was not close. But surprisingly, as we go through the rest of the awards here, this matchup is really tight. BigIrrelevant got the point for runs scored, but I got the point for runs against and beat him out for team ERA by .01. And thanks to that great year from Brandon Lau, I got the team home run number of 167, but his 6.3 WAR was not enough to dethrone Alec Boehm. For BigIrrelevant, he gets that point. Lau did get me the point for highest OPS, but for most strikeouts from a starter, Bieber took down Aaron Savali. For the head-to-head points, we ended up split dead even at 4 each. And both of us had quite a few individual standouts as well.
We get 3 awards too. Delivery Man of the Year for Eric Lauer. Ryan Clifford, Rookie of the Year. Batting title, Alec Boehm. Dude, I'm so sorry, Brody. I'm so sorry you had to go against my God Squad, apparently. Shohei was the MVP. We got 3rd in the Cy Young because of 21 wins from Shane Bieber. Batting title for Boehm. And he led the league in 61 saves, Eric Lauer. And we got 3rd in Rookie of the Year, too. Oh, my God. Did we get any Gold Glove? Gold Glove, Alec Boehm. We get the league lead in wins. I don't care about that. Saves and innings pitch with Shane Bieber. And batting average from Boehm and hits for Arias.
I'm going to be able to bank some points here between league leaders and awards. Let's see what we've got here. We got the league lead in saves. I had no idea that was happening. Jacob Webb with 50 saves. Brandon Lau leads the league in home runs with 59, RBI with 137, slugging with a 673, and OPS with a 1.06. I held out in free agency and risked it, using up that spot for the chance of a season like this, and he delivered way more than I could have ever asked. And with these results, I've got a feeling that we should have an award here, and it's a Hank Aaron for Brandon Lau. What I'm looking for, though, is an MVP, and there we go. National League MVP is Brandon freaking Lau. We also get a second place for reliever of the year from Jacob Webb, who I have to admit I kind of forgot about. And unfortunately, he's a little injured right now, so hopefully he's available for the playoffs. And I cannot believe this. This was not a plan at all. We've got third place here for rookie of the year with Fritz Zuniga. This was not even in my mind when I signed him that this might actually happen. For league leaders, BigIrrelevant had 3 points between saves for Lauer, innings pitched for Bieber, and hits for Arise. Surprisingly, I actually got 5 points, thanks to Brandon Lau leading the league in home runs, slugging, RBI, and OPS, and then Webb leading the league in saves. BigIrrelevant did better in the awards, getting 6 top 3 awards and also 4 award wins between a Delivery Man of the Year, a Rookie of the Year, a batting title, and a Gold Glove. I only got 2 awards won thanks to Brandon Lau getting a Hank Aaron and an MVP. And yes, one record was a lot better than the other, but both teams make the playoff, scoring that point. It might be hard to believe, but going into the playoff run, I am only down 1 point. Going forward, each round that we make it past is an additional point, and as mentioned in the intro, if one of these teams can win the World Series, that is 5 points. It's gonna be close. Let's see how this challenge finishes off.
There are potentially more points on the line. We've got Mize starting, then Bieber, then Francis against the Diamondbacks, who are such a better team than us. But if we can pull this off, that's an extra point, I think. I am so excited to see what he does because I'm going to guess he's going to build a better team than me. But there's no way that he's going to get a better performance out of it. All right, game 1 against the Diamondbacks. We lose. Marsh gets the loss. Bieber versus Nelson is a win. Francis versus Corbin Burns to potentially advance to the next round to play the Dodgers. Yeah, that would suck. We do win.
The rotation's all set. The lineup is all set here. Brandon Lau, can he carry us again? Here goes nothing. Suns versus Reds in the wild card. Game 1, we win. Game 2, we lose. To keep moving forward in the playoffs, and we lose, and we are eliminated. And in Game 3, the offense just could not get going against Andrew Abbott, but despite that early exit, I am really proud of this team. So just like that, I am eliminated and cannot gain any further points, meaning that BigIrrelevant is going to take the crown. But his team is not done yet. Can they have a miracle playoff run?
So we advance to take on the Dodgers. This theoretically should be a clean sweep. We don't belong here. They beat us by however many games. They won like 124 games this year. We're just here to have a good time. Jake Irvin versus Shohei Ohtani in Game 1 in LA. 1-6 loss. Game 2, Eflin versus Yamamoto. Okay, we won a game in LA. Mize versus Glasnow in the void. Okay, we lose that one. This is it. Bieber versus Snell. You're telling me we're going to a Game 5? Francis versus Ohtani? Bowden? Oh my god! Oh my god! What are you talking about? We're playing with house money. I don't care. Irvin versus Scooble, then Eflin. We shouldn't be here. Game 1 in New York. Oh my god! All right, we win. Eflin versus McLean. We lose. Can we win in the void? Mize versus Rodon. We win. Bieber versus McGill. Bradfield is injured, so whatever. We lose, so it's 2-2. Francis versus Skubal. No way. Irvin versus McLean. No way right now. I'm Eflin. Okay. House money, right? House money. Eflin versus Seat. Okay. Mize versus Woodruff in game 2. Casey Mize is injured. He's done. 2-5. All right. Going to Toronto. Shane Bieber versus Savage in game 3. We lose. We're down 2-1. Francis versus Seat. I think that's over. I think it's over. Pedro Avila's out for 3 months. Never mind. It's 2-2. All right. In Toronto, game 5. Jake Irvin versus Woodruff. Oh, we only lose by 1. All right. This is it. Game 6. Eflin versus Robbie Ray. We're in game 7 of the World's. I have to quick manage. Game 7. Blue Jays versus Wolves. We're in our stadium. I decided to go to Bieber. That's all I changed here. Okay, let's start this off. Vladdy gets a double to lead off, ground out, line out. We get out of the inning. Fraley versus Savage, ground out. Arise flies out, Bohm strikes out, nothing. Walk for Barger, strikeout. Strog hits a double play. We get out of that one. Bottom of the second, fly out. Single for Andahar. Wong gets on. We got a man on first and second for Ildemaro Vargas. Single, bases loaded for our Rookie of the Year, Ryan Clifford. He grounds out, but we get a run. And nothing from Siani. But we're up 1-0. Pop out, fly out. And Okamoto responds. So it's 1-1. Line out, strikeout, nothing from Bohm. Single, double play to get out of it, fly out. We are the luckiest team in all of baseball. Can that luck continue for one more game? Okay, all right. Okamoto with a single. Vladdy pops out. Chapman strikes out. Santander singles. Man on first and second for Barger. Walks, bases loaded for Kirk. I don't trust my bullpen yet. Just get Kirk out. Let's go! Shane Bieber. All right, Hamilton versus Savage. Strikeout, Andahar grounds out. Connor Wong! Solo shot! We're up 2-1. Let's go. Error puts Vargas on. They go to Cole Sands. Single. Men on the corners for Siani. I'm going to pinch hit here. We're going to go to Bradford. He's back. He strikes out. All right. So 7-8-9. We're going to do what I guess we did all season. McGinsky, Phillips, Lauer. McGinsky to start it off. Fly out, ground out, strikeout. All right, there's the 7th. Solo shot, we're up 3-1. Ground out, double from Hamilton. He's on second for Andahar, who flies out. Time to go to Evan Phillips. Single, and Vladdy ties it. 3-3. Strikeout, pop up, and a strikeout. So it's 3-3. Connor Wong saved us last time, going against Jeff Hoffman. Connor Wong gets a triple! I'm just going sack flies. Come on, guys. Come on. You can get a sack fly out of that? Okay. Well, I guess Bowden Francis here. I'm not going to my closer yet. Fly out, single, fly out. Okay. Bottom of the 9th for Jake Fraley against Mason Fluharty. Fly out. Single for Arias. Double play. So it's the top, and we're in extras. Top of the 10th. Fly out. Double for Vladdy. Ground out. David Hamilton. Fly out. Ground out for Andujar. They're going to Yariel. Single for Wong. Fielder's choice. One more inning for me. Francis. Barger gets it. We're down by 1. We're down by 2. Barger gets hit by 2. Chapman comes in, but Clifford gets a single. Fly out. It's down to Luis Arias. Come on, buddy. We'll jump in. Our last batter, Luis Arias versus Aroldis Chapman. Game 7 of the World Series. Ooh. Why couldn't we just get a sac fly? Arias, save me. He takes the strike. It's 0-2. He's challenging. Come on. Ooh, good challenge, Luis. Good challenge. Come on. 1-1 count. Ooh, bad. Swung so low under it. Dude, if he can get on base for Bohm with the pitch. Chapman strikes us out. Ah, so close. So close. Maybe I should have just went to Lauer. You couldn't have known. Oh, my God. We had the opportunity. I'm in shock that we got here. I'm in shock that we got here. Game 7 of the World Series? Oh. I win. Next challenge. Next challenge.
That is right. After an incredible season, BigIrrelevant takes this home, and an even more incredible playoff run, cementing the victory.
To end my live reaction of this, I just want to thank so much for Z Brody for being part of the collab or collabing and having me on this video to do this with him. I honestly feel bad that this is his idea, and I don't know what he did yet. So this is still me just going from my perspective. I don't think there's a way that he could have possibly beat me. I guess we'll see what kind of luck I get next time if we do another one of these. My game is broken. I just get the most cracked results.
There you have it. The rebuild challenge goes to BigIrrelevant. Congratulations. And if you guys want to see more of these, comment below and like the video, and we can come up with all kinds of ideas. Take care and peace.